And we still do techniques in the restaurant. You know, we do make pastas and stuff like that, and we finish like our fish with lemon, parsley, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of finding your own sort of style as well. But it was
beautiful.
Good, Amanda.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And the smokiness is just stunning.
It's just really
It's there, but no power.
Cheers, chef.
Cheers. Nice one.
Cheers, guys.
Sandy, what are we drinking here?
So I have picked a wine from Georgia, actually. This is what we call an orange wine. It's essentially a white wine that's been sitting with the skin on. And it's called Corvi, which is the vessel which the Georgians put the wine in.
Right.
It's a clay vessel, and they put it in underneath the ground. And keep the wine in there for 2 to 3 weeks.
It's an unusual... Where's this from?
From Georgia, so eastern part of Georgia.
But where can you buy it here?
This is from M&S, and it's £8. And I think it's great that high street markets like M&S carry such unusual wines.
Because it's largely undiscovered, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's got lovely tannin, and what's so wonderful with this wine and the meat, it's got red wine tannins in it.
You like?
Goes so well.
Really, really good.
Perfect.
And it's got like hay, honey, spices. You know, it's just a lovely white wine for meat dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Amazing
All
price.
good with you? Nice combination.
I'm in heaven.
Good. Excellent. We're getting there. Jose, remind us what you're doing in just a bit.
We are going to do pan-fried rainbow trout with chorizo, mussels, and tomato salsa.
Another one of your heavens.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Don't forget, if you want to ask us a question this morning, then just call 0330 123 1410. That's 0330 123 1410. Lines close at 11 a.m. today, so you haven't got long. Get dialing. Or you can tweet us questions using the hashtag Saturday Kitchen, and don't forget to vote for Amanda's Food Heaven or Hell on the website. Thanks for that, Rick. Look fantastic. Now, as it's St Patrick's Day today, which is a festival that's celebrated in more countries than any other national festival, by the way. First of all, is season the shin quite well, and then brown that up. Amanda, let's talk about second series.
Yep.
Good Karma Hospital. The first one went down a storm, didn't it? 7 million viewers.
Yeah. Yes, it did.
So obviously back for a second outing. Is there, people who haven't seen it, tell us the kind of the premise of the show.
It's basically about a hospital called the Good Karma Hospital in southern India that has no money and is staffed by a few doctors who are basically doing it for the love, really, rather than anything else. And a young British Asian doctor comes out because she's fed up with the NHS. She wants to try something new, so she comes over to us, and it's her journey discovering her heritage and discovering the vagaries of what goes on there, really.
And I was catching up with a few episodes of the second series last night. Got a sneak preview of that. Is there a change in tack with this series? Would you say?
I think
because there's quite a strong kind of will they won't they love interest thing going on, isn't it?
Yeah, we're trying to steer away from the kind of soapy element of it, really, and we're trying to develop the characters more so that the audience understand where they're coming from.
Sure.
And how they react to the various stories of the week.
Okay.
You know, that come out of the hospital and which are different to what might go on in hospitals here.
And your role is particularly sort of you're in charge, particularly strong, gutsy, ballsy woman. Yeah. If I can say that. Probably can't.
You can.
And let's not dwell on that. But it's a very sort of strong role. I mean, do you kind of associate as yourself with that particular role?
Probably, yes, I would think.
Because what does your husband call you?
Nightmare.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what I was getting to.
Nightmare.
He does.
And you, I mean, when you saw the script, did you get quite excited about it?
Yes, I did. I just thought the writing was great, and I love the premise. I like the fact that it was fresh and different, and also the one-liners that the writer Dan Sefton has given my character are, every actor's dream. So I said yes. Yeah.
And is that how you pick a role? Because you're kind of notoriously very good at picking roles, because I think a lot of what you've done goes on and on and on and runs sort of,
I think it's all in the writing. You know, the writing is the most important thing, and so if I read a script and I don't stop to go and get a cup of tea, I go right to the end.
Is that the kind
then
of
I know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the writer is
Dan Sefton.
He's a former NHS doctor, is that right? And he sort of wrote it on his own experiences based in South Africa?
Yes, that's right, exactly. Yeah, he's still a doctor. actually. But yeah, but he's...
So that gives it a kind of a certain degree of credibility with what you're seeing on screen.
Oh, yes.
Somebody's lived it.
And we have medical advisors on set with us, so that everything is done properly, yeah.
OK.
Yeah.
Right, let's just recap this recipe. So, meat is browned, that's out on a resting plate. In here, bit of celery, bit of onion, bit of tomato puree. So, and then once that's brought down, touch of stock going in there, back over the meat, braise it for around 2.5 hours, something like that, until it's tender. OK, potatoes in there sauteing. That's it. Right. Sri Lanka. So why Sri Lanka?
Can I just ask before you say... You know when you do that with the pan...
If it's on script?
No, you know when you do that with the pan, with the onions, why do they not go everywhere?
Because you're just flicking it up on the edge, just to turn them over. I mean, they would if I, you know... if I got nervous and did that.
What if I did it?
Let's not do that. Sometimes it goes over you, yeah. Anyway, so look, let's talk about Sri Lanka. So this was supposed to be filmed in India, wasn't it? Originally in Goa,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But you found Goa too sort of built up.
Yeah, it's a bit too touristy. So Sri Lanka, because the terrain is virtually identical to Kerala, which is really where it's set.
Yeah.
So it seemed the ideal place.
A bit of stock in there. And tell us about spending 4 months in a place. I mean, it sounds, to some people, that sounds kind of idyllic. But, you know, when you're away from your husband, you're away from your daughter and the rest of your family, that's quite tough, right?
Yeah, it is tough. That's the bit that I found the hardest, really. And also because the internet goes down a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It means that you can't get through. 4 months is actually quite a long time. It is actually quite a long time.
It's a very long time. And you have to do that in one hit? You can't sort of break it up at all?
No.
Right.
No.
That is tough.
I mean, some of the regulars do, but are able to, but I'm not, so I'm there. And, you know, it is, in every other respect, a fabulous, fabulous place to work. You know, I'm sitting by the pool learning my lines, so, I mean, you know, not really a hardship.
I mean, it's very...
Not too bad, is it?
I mean, it is very kind of immersive, isn't it? I mean, would you think, does that translate, then, as a character on screen? Would you have more of an understanding with the role you're playing and the people you're talking to? Or?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I think it's because you've not been, have you, to India? It's one of those places you go to and you do become immersed in the culture immediately.
Okay.
And it affects you, either in a negative way or mostly from what people say, in a positive way. It really does affect you, and you feel a little change when you come home.
Really?
Yeah.
And it affects you when you get home, and as to sort of how you...
Yes, it does. It's just an extraordinary take that they have on life, and
after seeing how hospitals are run, and obviously the writer's kind of knowledge of that.
Yes.
Presumably that makes you a bit more appreciative of the NHS.
We are so lucky over here.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's always issues.
We are. Yeah, of course, but we are very, very lucky. And the thing that got me, I think, particularly with the people there, there's not much complaining going on, you know. Right.
People are just sort of happy, grateful.
They just get on with life and are grateful for living. Yeah.
So in terms of the food, presumably it's always quite strong curries. Mm. And you like that?
I love that.
Just not with fish.
I've always felt that fish, the flavour's so delicate that I couldn't quite see it working with the heavy spices.
I've never had that problem.
Okay. We'll see then. Or maybe not.
But your mum lived in India, so you kind of grew up
there,
eating that sort of food. So
yeah, we did. Eating curries from really at a time when there weren't very many Indian restaurants here. Yeah. So my mum used to cook curry, and we ate it from a very early age.
And presumably, I mean, I've read that sort of that made you feel a lot more sort of closer to your mother, being out there and sort of experiencing these things that she would have experienced.
Yes, I kind of, the first time I went to India, in fact, I turned to my husband and I said, I get my mother, I get her. Oh, really? Yes, it explains so much, and there's the exoticness of it. Yeah. And I don't know, it's hard to put into words, really.
So when did you get back from Sri Lanka?
Got back in November.
Okay. So it's a very fast turnaround then for
yeah, it is quite fast turnaround. Well, because they need it to go out this time of year because
the weather's
because of the weather. Yeah,
great
rubbish,
for us. Presumably. Oh, that's nice. And you've been working with a friend of yours, Neil Morrissey.
Yes.
Now, you've never actually been on screen together before?
No.
But you've known each other for a long time,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And how is that? Do you sort of get around? Are you changing scripts and things?
Yeah, I mean, it's because he and I have been doing it for such a long time. It's sort of very easy to work with. You know, we find it very easy to work with each other, and we also have very similar thoughts about things.
Okay.
So you know that always helps.
So can you look at a script and read it and you go, yeah, that wouldn't happen, or you know, we could change this.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
But we can have discussions with the writers and what have you. You know, so it's a lovely way of working.
Right.
Oh, that looks gorgeous.
Are you happy with this? I mean, this is not a fatty piece of meat. This is a very kind of lean
beautiful
piece of meat. It's just very sort of delicate and tender. Okay, so let's put in that. Here's my oysters. Just saute those with a little bit of butter, a little bit of lemon. There's a touch of tarragon in there as well, because that works. It's got some parsley in there with the spuds. Now, I've heard also your husband does most of the cooking at home.
He does, yeah.
He doesn't like to sort of leave you in charge of the knives, is that right?
No, he won't let me anywhere near knives, no.
Is that why is that?
Because I'm so clumsy. I'll talk to him. In fact, I think the very first time he came over for Sunday lunch, I was cooking, and I know this is shock horror, but I had an electric carving knife.
Oh.
He was appalled when he saw it. He was appalled. And I was talking to him like this, and I was going through the wire.
They murder. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay, and he looked at you and thought, you're a keeper. Nothing shouts love more than somebody, murdering a piece of meat with a knife.
I know.
Electric carver. Right, okay, we're nearly there. So that's that. That's my oxtail. There's what's my little salad? Here it is. A little bit of oil. And that's... Okay, let's just dress that up a little bit. How are you with oysters?
Love them.
Oh, phew. Right, there you go, try that.
Thank you.
Have you got... There you go. Yeah, so braised cheddar beef, sautéed oysters, a little bit of sautéed potatoes. That's pretty much it, and that little bit of soda bread. Let me know what you think while I clear up. What would you have to drink with this, Sandy?
Well, I think I'd stick with a stout or a dark ale.
Oh, would you?
Or even a cider. A nice crisp cider.
Cider would be nice.
Really?
A lovely, refreshing contrast to that dish.
Okay, interesting. Not a big gutsy red.
You can do a red, but, you know...
Oloroso sherry.
Or sherry.
Right, so quite universal there. We haven't really narrowed this down. How is this?
It's gorgeous.
Is it?
I'm just going to try this.
Good, you carry on. Right, so what will I be making for Amanda at the end of the show? Will it be her food heaven? A divine trio, if I say so myself, with Sri Lankan spices with cod and crab. So I'm going to serve crispy soft-shell crab and some perfect poached cod in a creamy coconut curry, along with an onion and cucumber pickle and some samosas. Heaven on a plate for some. But if Amanda gets hell, then I'm afraid it's going to be fatty pork, sweet dried apricots, and couscous. So I'm going to marinate pork, a pork shoulder, and I'm going to braise it in a stock that's bursting with dried apricots for that satanic sweet and savoury combination, and then secure this dish's place in hell. I'm going to serve it on a bed of couscous. And don't forget, what she gets is down to you, chuckling away over there. And you've only got around 25 minutes left to vote for Amanda's food heaven or hell. So you've got the power. Go to the Saturday Kitchen website right now and have your say, and we're going to find out the results at the end of the show. Okay, now it's over to Raymond Blanc. Almost on it challenge time, and that means there's time for those dreadful puns. So Amanda, brace yourself. Here we go. Ian and Jose, now that you've made yourselves at home with the Braithwaites, it's time to show off some of your new tricks for a speedy omelette. You're laughing out of sympathy, I can feel it. I don't want any bad feelings, though. It's all about good karma. Will Amanda, moving on, will Amanda get her food heaven a dreamy Sri Lankan spiced cod and crab curry with a cucumber pickle and samosas, or her food hell fatty pork shoulder with a sweet and sour stock served on a bed of Amanda's dreaded couscous? There's still a chance for you to vote on the website, and we're going to find out the results a little later on. Okay, let's get on with the cooking. Jose.
Yes, way, Jose.
No.
Yeah, my mum used to make that.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
No.
There's my point. Haven't eaten yet.
But look at that, it's why you're so beautiful.
Oh, you silver tongue.
You know I am.
Devil.
Anyway, salt and pepper on the fish. And
Because I love Spanish food.
hey, love you, darling.
I've worked a lot in Spain, so Spanish food is divine. It's heavenly.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Love
It's
it.
about the Spanish cuisine is all about the simplicity. It's about amazing ingredients that bring all the flavors together.
Yeah.
It's how I really grow up in my lovely Extremadura. By the way,
Oh, yes, good link.
good
Tell
link,
us
yeah.
about
It's bread. Always nice bread
Always
to
good
mold.
bread.
Oh, wow.
So you've worked a lot in Spain, you say?
Yeah, I have.
Just in case.
Look at that colour.
Oh, look at it. Look at it. It's like a painting.
Just
Beautiful.
beautiful. Simple, but beautiful.
But, you know, it's flavors. And
Yeah.
today is a lovely day outside.
Yeah.
We need that kind of Spanish...
Do you find that in a restaurant? That's quite interesting, actually. When on a day like this, do you think people, they want that kind of food?
I think, like we say about the Amanda series, they want to feel sound.
Yeah.
It's all about that. It's all about bringing memories to yourself.
Yeah.
And
And
this
nothing
does.
better than Sri Lanka and Spanish flavors.
Good memories?
Yeah. Lovely.
Good.
That's just beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Right, and we're drinking sherry.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Let me tell you what. When I get to pair wine with Jose's food, I get so excited because I get to advocate sherry. And I think in this country they have a bad rep because we always think sherry of being really sweet or it's just a grandmother drink. But this is a fino sherry, and it's a manzanilla, which comes from Sanlúcar on the coast. And to me, the manzanilla always reminds me of when you spend all day at the beach and the way your skin smells, that sort of saltiness from the ocean. Very sort of, very sort
It's a
of
lovely place to
savoury.
be.
It's just a lovely sort of sipping wine with fish and with meat, especially with chorizo and rich tomato sauce.
Yes, it does. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
It's salty, isn't it?
It's salty, like the ocean.
Sanlúcar
Yeah.
is very close. Well, it's in front of the sea.
It's a lovely wine.
Beautiful
But I
place.
love it. I mean,
happy
I can
with
drink
this?
sherry with anything and
more than
anytime.
More than happy.
I'm more than happy. I'm feeling like to be in Spain.
Salud.
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 Right, let me do this link. Now let's catch up with Satin, the Hairy Bikers, and they're on their Asian adventure. And they've arrived back in Bangkok, where they're throwing themselves into the incredible street food scene. Take a look. Thanks for that, boys, and let's hope that Amanda gets a food epiphany as well, because her fate is sealed. The Heaven and Help vote is now closed, and we're going to reveal the results at the end of the show. OK, now let's take some calls from our viewers. First up, it's Simon from the Netherlands. What's your question, Simon?
Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
chefs. Monday is my wife's birthday, and I have a couple of wonderful pigeons. I've cooked them before, baked them, pan-fried them, cooked them sous vide.
Okay.
I'm looking for a completely different recipe.
OK. Right. That's quite a present. Are they like carrier pigeons? No. OK, pigeon recipes.
So, Simon, I would do like a nice pasta. I would braise the legs down with some like garlic, a little bit of shallot, and then last minute pick them off, and then all that lovely juices, just slice the breast really, really thinly, and then toss it through some penne or a little bit of pappardelle, and it just cooks the breast nice and pink, and it should be really tender. Loads of parmesan, should be delicious.
Nice.
Yeah, lovely.
Very nice. And Amanda, you got a tweet for us?
You're making me read this out.
Yes.
This is from Carol Marshall, and thank you very much, Carol. She said, I'm really embarrassed reading this. I love the beautiful Amanda. She looks amazing. But now, the most important bit.
Is that it?
I'm cooking lamb shanks. Any tips as to how to cook and what's best to serve with it?
I'll take the lamb one as well, actually.
You go.
So, nice way to...
Cold waters and all that makes a big difference, doesn't it? Are you a fan of these, Amanda?
Yes, absolutely beautiful.
So sweet, aren't they?
Really
Yeah.
sweet. I love
You
it.
don't need much. Like we say, a little bit of garlic.
Yeah.
You can eat loads of them.
Well, we will. We've got loads out in the back. We'll eat them all later. Yeah.
See the some makeup in my bowl.
Yeah. I'll be joining you there soon. Let's be honest. Does that hurt? Oh.
I think I know who is going to pay lunch today.
I mean, yeah, very good, very good. I don't know, I'm going to have to go and ask. Clapping yourselves. Anyway, so will Amanda get her food heaven, the holy trinity of Sri Lankan spices, cod and crab, or will it be a hellish combination of fatty pork, sweet and sour flavours, and Kuska here is getting her food heaven or her food hell. So, Amanda, this was your idea of heaven-ish. Fish, you love fish, you love crab, you love curry. Not necessarily together, but that's what we're doing. And little samosas as well. This was your idea of hell, big old piece of fatty pork, fruity couscous. What do you think you got?
I don't know.
OK, well, I can tell you a massive, and it is a massive, 70% of people went for heaven. Now, this is a very rare thing, because by and large, that shows you how popular you are, because by and large, it's always around 55%.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, anyway. Right, so let's get on with this. So I'm going to convert you into this curry, hopefully. Okay. So soft shell crabs, I'm going to drop those in the fry, and a little bit of this evaporated milk and a little bit of spice. I'm going to poach that in the curry. These guys, Ian's going to do little samosas, and we're going to do this backwards, so we're going to get that in. Jose's making a little pickle. So that's it, so let's get on with this. So do you sort of make curries at home, or have you had enough of them after?
No, I can never have enough curries. My husband does. He can cook. I don't bother anymore. There's no point.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He's got a spice rack to die for.
He has.
Is that right?
Yes, he has. He's got a tandoor as well.
Has he?
Yeah.
They're good, aren't they? They're really good fun.
Yeah, fantastic.
Have you got a domestic tandoor?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, how the other half live. So listen, I was intrigued to find out that your father did a cordon bleu course back in the 60s.
Yes.
And that was at a time when men weren't cooking.
That's right. He was ill. He was very ill. He had leukemia, and so he recovered. But to pass the time while he was recuperating at home, he did this course and ended up opening a restaurant with a friend. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I learnt that, I don't know, this was ages ago, that back in 1965, Michael Caine was doing the Ipcress file, and he was the first man to ever be seen to cook on screen.
Is that real?
Apparently so.
Oh my God,
and that was in 65, so around the same time that your father was obviously...
Yeah, absolutely.
Which kind of goes to prove, because we take it for granted now, but it kind of proves that, it wasn't...
It wasn't the norm.
For men to be
no, it really wasn't. No.
Right, so saute off that. In real life, you do this longer. Okay. Yeah. So just sort of 10 minutes cooking on the chilies, on the onion. In there, I've got some fenugreek, some turmeric, cinnamon stick, or some white pepper, some chili powder. It's quite pokey.
Great. Okay. Pokier the better.
Okay. Some curry leaves going in there, and then we're going to top that up with we've got some tamarind and a little bit of sugar, just to take the edge off that kind of bitterness.
Yeah.
And not that, I'm going to use this here, this coconut milk. And this is what you would find in Sri Lanka, right?
Yeah.
So tell us, how did you get into acting in the first place?
Well, I burnt myself quite badly when I was a baby, and I had to go to hospital, and I was there until I was 5. When I came out, I was hyperactive. So they sent me
for a long time.
Yeah. So they sent me to a little ballet class on a Saturday morning. Right. But I've got 2 left feet, and I kept bumping into... And I'm clumsy, so I kept bumping into all the other little kids. So they suggested this drama class that was upstairs, and I went, and that was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's as simple as that?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. And it's kind of come full circle, because now you have a theatre school, don't you?
I do, the Artist Theatre School, yes.
And one of your ex-pupils is the very Lisa Faulkner we have on the show doing a
Yes, that's absolutely right.
And you take a very sort of active role in this, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going there after this.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I shall be working there this afternoon.
And it sounds it's very sort of hands-on, just a lot of experts coming into the...
Yeah, it's trying to give something back, really.
Yeah.
And so I just bully as many people as I can into coming along and giving classes.
Interesting choice of words.
So true, though.
But it works.
Yeah.
OK, so in here I've got this milk. This is just going to give a nice bit of sweetness. A little bit of powder, curry powder in there. A bit of flour, and I'm just going to dip these little crabs in both of these, and they go nice and crispy right into here. I'm going to put the cod skin side up, so that's going to sort of protect it a little bit. Put the lid on.
Smells beautiful.
Well, hopefully you'll like it.
Tastes amazing.
So what sort of advice would you have for women in industry? Because you're a big advocate of women getting sort of, strong roles sort of throughout their career, rather than stopping at sort of 30.
Well, interesting roles. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is that you've got to represent the people who watch television, and really it tends to be predominantly women over the age of 40.
Yeah.
So therefore they should be represented, I feel. And also we're 52% of the population, so You know,
Yeah.
but the balance is very much the other way.
I mean, I also read that you kind of think that maybe Europe and the States is ahead of the UK.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they don't seem to be frightened of older women, whereas I think that's not so much the case here.
Yeah. Right, so crabs in. How are you boys getting on?
Yeah, good, all good.
Yeah, OK. Samosas look lovely. Well done.
They do.
Much better than rehearsal, chef.
What happens in rehearsal stays in rehearsal.
He gave to us because it's the most difficult thing to do.
That's it.
Well, that's why I gave him to it. OK. So crabs won't take much time at all. Very, very thin. Now, traditionally, you wouldn't have soft-shell crabs, I believe, in Sri Lanka, but it's just that makes them very easy to eat. Have you had them before?
I don't
These
think I
soft
have.
shells?
No.
Interesting little critters. They shed their skin, so during that period they get very soft, and then you can eat the shell.
Oh, right.
Sounds a bit macabre. Tastes delicious. Right. Can I...
Yeah.
And you were working at the Bristol Old Vic with a very kind of illustrious crew, is that right?
Yeah.
Years gone by.
Yeah, it was quite a year, really.
And who was there?
Dan Day-Lewis.
Dan.
Sorry. Sir Daniel Day-Lewis.
It's always friends for us.
Miranda
Okay.
Richardson.
Right.
Nick Farrell. There was a whole load of us there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is, I mean, do you what you're doing in your theatre school? I mean, do you think it's kind of is it something that more and more people should be doing? Are you kind of one of the few who are doing stuff like this? It's actually bringing in experts and showing these kids sort of, how to do it properly.
I think I don't think it's. Yeah, more people should be doing it. Really,
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's important, and if you do it for a living, and you're keeping up with the latest trends as well, so that you can actually offer them something that's tangible.
And I mean, is it a sort of a business where people are very kind of giving? Do they help sort of youngsters coming up through the ranks?
Yes.
Would you say?
Yes, I would really say that.
I mean, because obviously it's a very competitive industry.
It is, but also you have to be very... It's a bit like you guys with the cooking, is you've got to be passionate about it. And if you're passionate about something, you want to pass it on to other people, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
way.
I suspect there's a lot of times where you spend a lot of time sort of, questioning life, sat on the sofa and going, where's the next job coming from and stuff like that. That's a huge part of acting, right?
That's a huge part of it, I think, yes. But the passion should never go. If it goes, then
Do something
just
else.
give up. Yeah. Yep.
That happens, just better to go home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
OK, so...
It's not easy what we do.
Bit of cod. You boys nearly there?
I love.
I kept them samosas hidden as well, chef, just in case.
Right. Right, Sandia, do you want to grab the wine?
Yeah, absolutely.
OK. So a little bit of crab, a few of these curry leaves. Sorry about the
Can
mess.
I have the samosas?
Now, if you're not that brave, just try the crab.
Yeah.
There you are.
Thank you.
And then we've got a little salad.
Yeah.
Stick a couple of samosas on there.
Aye, there, lovely.
Right, so what are we drinking, Sandy?
So when I do curries, I tend to grab a light red wine to go with curries.
OK.
Light reds, such as
Oh,
Pinot
like
Noir.
red wine.
Light red wine.
So this is a Chilean Pinot Noir, just under £7 from Asda. And I usually tend to chill it a little bit, so it's nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
But just the light fruitiness balances really well with the spices in the curry, I think, and with the seafood. You won her over. I had faith in you.
What have you tucked into?
Delicious. The cod.
Oh, really?
Hey.
Yeah.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
It's
Oh, that's all right.
lovely.
Excellent. Turned out nice in the end. And just to remind us, Good Karma Hospital tomorrow night, ITV, 9 p.m.
Yep. Yep. Please
this
watch
is-
I will
everybody.
be going. I don't watch telly at all, but I will be doing that.
Thank you,
Excellent.
that's brilliant.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Have a lovely day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. And that's all from us today on Satin Kitchen Live. Thanks to all our studio guests, Ian, Jose, Sandia, and of course Amanda. All the recipes from the show are on the website, bbc.co.uk/Satin Kitchen. And don't forget, I got more Best Bites for you tomorrow morning at 9:15 on BBC Two. Have a great weekend. Bye for now. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Cheers, guys.